Shade
And
is still
we
in
are
my
back.
No,
ladies and
it's
gentlemen.
not.
That's what
What
That's
happened?
what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that was that was the wrong one that we need to put in there. But hey, we got
Come on.
It's canon.
spoiler Shade's back. Amazing. This is wow.
Cool.
I wasn't
Been
even planning that till
resurrected.
episode 68 or 69.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Professional.
Fine. No
Resurrection
one-
doesn't go with 69.
It's absolutely fine. No
Stop
one will
saying
notice,
69.
okay? It's fine.
I'm concerned for this episode. The energy
so
is
am
very
I.
chaotic.
Yes.
It's gonna be.
Surely no one will
Give you-
die.
Don't say that.
Don't look at me!
Shoddy not.
Oh boy. So,
Shoddy not. Okay.
all right. Are we ready?
No.
Are we, let's calm down. Let's get into character.
Okay.
Looking in your direction, Trix. So, when we last left our heroes, after a minor victory, I get it, a minor victory in a mine, our party.
Oh.
That was an
Damn it.
accident. I'm sorry.
So good.
Didn't you write it down?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
After a minor victory in the mines, our party headed back into town to learn exactly how they might be able to get across the bay towards the temple of the Psionic Knights. After that, they decided instead not to take the boat across that evening, but instead try and recoup a little bit, as they were well worn after many battles. Some went shopping, some went crafting, others went to tavern to drink for a while. However, as they all reconverged back at the Thirsty Crab, a strange rumbling began to occur. Leaping out of their seats, they went to the window to see what was all the ruckus, only to see a massive airship fly over top, covering the entirety of Hansor in but a shadow. As they ventured outward, they looked upon the sails of this mighty flying vessel, only to see the family crest of the Presage family. A short while later, a small ship embarked from the larger vessel, heading down towards the Brass Flamingo, a place our party was very familiar with. Prior to heading over to once again assumably meet up with his father, Ollie and the rest of the party decided to stop once again at the Twinkling Star, a magic shop found in Hansor. There, Eli wanted to do a little bit of shopping before they ventured forth. Taking a look at a beautiful armor with strange embedded serpents made of silvers and gold all around it. Very well suited and almost like it was custom made for him. Decided instead to go with a cloak of invisibility. Heading over to the Brass Flamingo, they entered. And after a little bit of persuasion by a nearby guard, they were informed that Lord Lucius Presage, one of the head of the 13 families that essentially run all of Bastia, was there. Ollie's father. As they ventured up to the room, they were able to make their way in, only to find a strange sight. Senator Vander, along with Gigi the Countess and Lord Presage, seemed to be in the midst of a meeting. Using his relations, Lucy convinced the rest that they were there on for diplomatic reasons, just like his father. However, that ploy was seen through very quickly, as Lord Lucius Presage recognized the voice of Ollie. As he sent everyone out of the room, the party continued to speak with Lord Presage for a short time, before he asked everyone to leave, all but Ollie. A father-son conversation persisted, where Lord Lucius offered all of his resources to assist the party in whatever task they had been put to. As the party entered the room, more tensions flared as Eli, the Viper, gave a proper death stare towards Lord Lucius. The two had words, almost came to more. But Eli, surprisingly able to keep his cool, instead walked away. The party were offered to join Lord Lucius on his ship later that evening, so they might plan for whatever happens next. There was much conversation to be had between the party of whether they should trust Lord Lucius or not. But, in the end, Ollie was very persuasive, and convinced the party that his father was not an evil and conniving man, but one that was filled with love for his son, and only wanted to see the best for them. And with that, the party stepped aboard the small vessel as it rose into the air and began to make its way towards the large airship above. And so, our story continues. As you approach the large ship in the sky, you see just how massive it is, easily stretching 100 if not more feet. Its entire hull made out of a shining brass, with what looked to be a silvery iron rivets throughout the entirety of it. As you approach the top of the vessel towards the main deck, the small vessel seems to instinctively pull towards the large ship. Looking down, you can see a number of individuals walking about. Some in armor, other in simple work clothes, pulling ropes and cargo all around. As you get closer and closer, you can now feel a little bit of the heat from the fiery ring that loops around the entirety of the ship. And as you come down proper, the small vessel you're in seems to dock along with a number of other small vessels. A few individuals begin to look over towards you all. Some with curious looks on their faces, but mostly going about their day. What would you all like to do?
Well, we should probably go find... Oh, no, I'm not muted. Cool. We should probably go find my father. He wanted me to report to him right as we boarded the ship.
Probably best. Eli, you gonna be okay?
I don't know yet. I'll try.
Maybe hang towards the back of the group.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
What were you gonna ask,
Right.
Alara?
Oh yeah. Is it nighttime? Is it evening, I think you said?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, did he say where he was gonna be?
No, I'm sure everybody on this plane or ship must know. At least the guards must know where he might be right now.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. I'm gonna find
after
the
you.
nearest... All right. I'll find the nearest guard and approach him. Or her.
As you leave the small vessel, one by one, you begin to make your way over to one of the guards. Before you hear a voice, a familiar voice, coming from behind you. As you turn to look, you see a small gnomish man. He wears a very large, poofy hat and a beautiful red tunic robe with gold accents on it. You would immediately recognize this as Papas, your father's chief scribe.
Oh.
He pushes through some of the legs along the way. Out of my way, out of my way. Ah, young Oliver. Such a pleasure to see you, young man. And might I say, you are looking quite different, but very, very proper.
Pop, it's so nice to see you. It's been ages.
It has, and you'll have to tell me all about your adventures, young man, as well as your friends here.
Oh yeah, we have
Hi.
plenty of stories to tell, but for right now, it would be great if you could tell me where my father is.
Yes, of course. I was informed that you would be arriving shortly. I had seen the vessel coming in, so I thought to myself I would come and meet you, so I could personally say hello and take you to him.
Great. These are my friends, by the way. They've been my companions ever since I've arrived on Qatar on the ship. Well, most of them. Ash is new. I'll point to the kitty cat. and this is Lucy of Boku.
Pleasure.
Pleasure.
Well, you seem a very colorful
It's
bunch.
those two?
Yeah.
You're not going to introduce me?
Oh, they're just the ones that I met while I was here. Yeah. Well, this is Ilara. She's very much Ilara.
A
Hi.
beautiful name.
Well said.
And he gives a slight bow towards you. My lady.
And then we also have Trix, Eli, and Pavo.
Ah, a northern Aarakocra. I have read much about your people.
Maybe you may share some information.
I would be honored to do so. But I will not keep you or your father waiting any longer. Please follow me. And he turns with a wisp and begins to quickly walk off. A small man, but with much authority.
We'll follow along.
Mm-hmm.
Papas takes you along the main deck, closer to the back that reaches up a little bit higher than the rest of the main deck. He stops in front of a large brass door before opening it up and reaching his hand out, ushering you all in.
Thank you, Papas.
Yes, young Oliver, it is a pleasure as always. And please, if there's anything you need, come and find me.
Amazing, thank you. I'll probably take you up on that.
Very good. And to all of your friends as well. Pavo, was it? I look forward to our conversations later.
As do I. Nice meeting you.
Are we all entering?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you enter through the great brass doorways, you find yourself in almost what looks like a medium-sized home from the overall size. A grand entranceway with a set of stairs that leads upwards. A few rooms off to the side in a very circular type room. Ollie, you would know that at the top of the stairs is the commander's office, presumably where your father would be at this point.
I believe my father should be up the stairs. Everybody ready?
I'm
She
quite
looks at Eli.
curious to see how he may be able to help us.
Great. All right, let's go.
As Ollie leads you all up the stairs, you stop again in front of another large door, this time made out of a beautiful polished mahogany wood. You can hear some voices behind the door.
All right, I'll give it a courteous knock and wait.
Bellowing back from behind the door, you hear your father's voice. Enter!
And I will. I'll open the door.
Opening the door, you see a similar sight as what you saw at the Brass Flamingo. A very large, oval-shaped table. Again, made out of almost the same mahogany wood with beautiful carvings all throughout it. It seemed to be into a sunken area of the room, with a bit of a catwalk that rests around the top rim of the room overall. You can see above, along the walkway, the entire walls that curve around are made out of glass, being able to see 360 degrees all around the ship and the area around it. Looking over, you see your father sitting at the head of the table in a very large throne-like chair, again made out of the same dark wood with a red velvet plush cushioning behind it. The other chairs around the table, you can easily count 25 of them, all with the same type of style of wooden cushioning. A few individuals seated at it as well. Ah, Oliver. Welcome. I'm glad you decided to join us. And your friends. Are any of you hungry or wish for anything?
I'll immediately take a knee and just be like, Father, they've agreed to at least hear out your offer and invitation to use your resources. They're definitely intrigued, but they might have questions for you. They aren't 100% convinced, I would say, but I'm sure whatever questions they may ask you, you'll be able to put them at ease.
I will do my best. Looks at the other guests at the table and nods. If you'll all excuse me. Each of them standing up and leaving the table. One last thing. If one of you could find Pappas for me and send him in, please. As well as ensuring that there is some food and drink. I don't know about any of you, but I'm famished.
Surprisingly, Father, I'm starving.
He gives a little bit of a look towards you. Yes, many things have changed for you, haven't they, Oliver?
Very much.
A father seeing his son grow before his eyes. Please, all of you, come sit.
I'll
sit next to wherever Eli goes again.
She's on a short leash.
Yep. Keeping an eye on you.
Well,
Sit.
as you all sit around the table, looking towards Lord Lucius, he sits regally as he eyes each of you. Now, first and foremost, I thank you for trusting Oliver, and for him to trust me. I want to be clear at this point. I have no secrets. And I don't want you to have any secrets at this table as well.
Mm.
So, if I can answer any of your questions, I would be happy to do so. As I explained to Oliver, I understand what is being asked of you in this strange situation. And I offer you all of the resources Not only that I have, but all of Bastia itself.
In exchange for what?
I only ask for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not entirely true. I ask for two things. Number one, no harm comes to Ollie.
Naturally.
Obviously.
And number two, when this is all said and done, the champion's weapons will be turned over to me.
Mm-hmm.
For safekeeping.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that you are better for keeping the weapons than the champions themselves?
Mm-hmm.
I will answer with a question of my own. Once your task is complete, what is the need of the champions?
Maybe to keep the weapons away from power-hungry people. They were
I
put away
think-
for a reason.
I think what Alar is trying to say is there are many mysteries still involved with these weapons. And we would prefer to be cautious in who we hand them over to, despite the timing. Respectfully.
I can understand your concerns in all of this. I will say that while my motives are somewhat selfish, I would be lying if I didn't say that I didn't want to study the weapons firsthand. It's not very often that you get to see craftsmanship of that nature. I'm sure you've all seen firsthand the power that these weapons hold.
You have
I
seen
agree.
the power, Father. Oh, sorry.
All right.
Sorry, Father.
Sorry, Dad.
Yeah,
And
go on.
as I'm sure you've seen, this type of power in the wrong hands could be devastating.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what I wish to accomplish with these weapons is not only to study them, but put them in the hands of someone who has a history, proven history, in protecting artifacts of this magnitude.
Ooh.
I'm not trying to say that you don't have that ability, but I am saying that you don't have the experience. You don't have the resources. And from what Ollie has told me, you are not immortal. If you continue to hold on to these weapons, others will come for you.
Father, I don't think it's as simple as you're saying. I mean, I'm sure with a bit of convincing, we would allow you to examine the weapons, but they're a bit more than just weapons. They've begun bonding with us. Eli has already bonded almost directly by getting the dagger shoved into her and then becoming a whole new being called the Viper. I myself, this wasn't always a hammer, it was an axe, and then in my dream, Gibble helped me forge it into a hammer, and it's become part of me. And Pavel himself has bonded with the wings that he obtained, and the weapon was given down to him from one of his teachers, I believe. I don't think they should be separated from us. I don't think they're meant for anyone other than us.
Also,
can't
mine
be.
is bonded quite literally. He just shows his markings.
So what you're saying is that you all and the weapons share some type of symbiotic relationship.
Interesting way to put it. I never thought of it that way.
It seems that way, and Gibble has also instructed me to find a way to further the bond with all of our companions. I haven't figured out exactly how to do that, but I'm sure with your help and your resources, we can find a way. But I don't think it should be separated from us. I think there's a lot more we can find out by keeping it with us.
I'm beginning to understand more. You speak of this bonding. Is there anything in particular that sets off the bonding, or a ritual, or an event?
There's-
Well, go ahead.
There has been events, but how to trigger them or what it should be specifically for each person, I don't know. Eli was stabbed by Resilian or Soulless or whatever you want to call him. I just had a dream about it, and Pavo, I'm not sure, it just kind of happened. Lucy, yeah, I don't know, he kind of had to prove himself, and it's odd. I don't know how it can happen, but with Eli, somehow Soulless knew how it would happen. So there has to be a way to figure out exactly how it happens. There's got to be some knowledge out there to find, but we're not sure what it is.
So there's no...
Seems to be different for each person.
Interesting. I wondered to myself if you didn't find the weapons, but they found you. If you say that it is personalized as it is. But just a thought. As he says this, the door opens up towards the commander's room. A number of servants come walking in with a plethora of ales and wines, foods, a roasted hog, numerous roasted vegetables, as they begin to pile it on top of the table. A few of the servants walk around, reaching out and putting a glass in front of each of you, and then holding out 2 jugs, asking if you would rather mead or wine.
Ooh. Excuse me, sorry. My mouth seems to be liquidizing. This hasn't
What?
happened before.
What?
Are you salivating? He's drooling because he's hungry.
Oh my gosh. I'll have wine.
Eat for me.
Eat for me too.
A little bit of everything for me. I'm just
Please, I'll just stick with water. I don't do good with alcohol.
I think you do great with alcohol,
yeah.
Pavo.
Definitely need more of it.
Not the time nor place.
Mhm.
Eli will just kind of shake his head politely, decline it.
As they fill up your goblets filled with your selection of choice, another returns for Pavo with a jug of water.
Thank you.
And as the servants begin to leave, a familiar face of Pappus enters into the room. Ah, Pappus, I'm very glad you joined us. We are in the midst of an interesting conversation, to say the least. We are speaking, of course, of the champion's weapons. As soon as he says that, Pappus pulls out a piece of parchment and a quill, ready to take notes. But of course, what would a meeting be without first raising a glass? Cheers to all.
Cheers.
Cheers. We all die from poisoning.
The whole
All
time,
of you
like,
roll
should
a
I just purse
Constitution
my
saving
lip?
throw.
Yeah.
The end.
I have a question.
Of course, Lara wasn't.
Yeah. What's your relationship with Rasilian? Ollie was saying that you know him.
Yes. I was very interesting in his studies in chronomagics.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the individuals at the school in Lumnador did not believe he was capable of discovering the feats of this so-called time magic. I thought otherwise. And so I offered him funding.
Funding. Okay. And did he succeed?
Based on what Oliver has told me, yes.
Mm. And now what? Do you talk to him at all?
I haven't spoken to him in quite some time. Typically, he would report back to the Lachey Council. For those of you who don't know, the Lachey Council essentially runs Lumnador, including the school there. They give me updates from time to time.
This entity that you want to hand the weapons over to, would you like to elaborate on who that is?
Of course, it is the Lachey Council.
And they're immortal.
They are the most well-versed in what some would consider the highest of magics. They have
Aren't
been
they
all around.
Arcadias? Sorry, go ahead.
No, by all means.
Aren't they Arcadias on that council?
How do you know that name?
I was good friends with their son.
Was?
He didn't make it.
I see. Have you informed them?
No, I haven't. I have really no way of contacting them beyond 25 words, and I don't know how to tell them that in 25 words.
Perhaps we can help.
That would be nice. Damn
Of
it.
course. The intention is to hand them over to the Lachey Council. As I had said, they are known for holding these type of artifacts. There are many, many strange relics found throughout all of Bastia. The most dangerous of them, and most powerful, will go to the Lachey Council, where they are kept in a vault in an undisclosed location that no one outside of the council knows.
That's
But then everyone on the council would know where all of them are. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That much power should not be kept in a single hand.
There are some that would agree with you. But what is the alternative then?
Each champion takes their own weapons to their own hidden location.
Interesting.
You would have one with yourself in my hands.
Well,
But that doesn't really solve the problem. Like, what are we saying? We're going to lock Lucy up? Is that what you're saying? Or are you going to find some way to like separate the weapons from them?
I've got no interest in that, and I don't want to be studied like some specimen.
as I was saying, there seems to be a symbiotic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, the bonds would have to be broken for all of you, not just Lucy.
Don't love that.
Laura, you're from Luminor, right?
Yeah. Why?
You know about the council?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does everything seem, I don't know, appropriate in their reign?
Like, are they good people that are on the council?
Yes, in short.
Well, when I knew, or from what I remember, it was Alcor's parents, and his father was pretty intense. His mom is really lovely. And I don't know, was Vercillion on the council, or was he just
Actually, the Arcadias were not on the council directly. They were high-ranking
just called?
teachers. They were high-ranking teachers within the school. I believe his mother was the librarian.
there? Okay, so that dream that I had when they were all there, they were just called before the council?
Correct.
So who do I remember being on the council?
You remember there being 12 council members.
Oh, geez. Okay.
For the sake of time, we won't list through all of
no.
them. But
Okay. But Alara didn't know them personally or anything like that?
No.
In general, was like the council like wide knowledge? Like, did Alara know about it before the dream?
Absolutely. You would know them as the authority throughout all of Luminor.
Okay. Were they kind of good people? Peacekeepers?
There was no unfair rule in your time there. There was not a lot of strife that happened internally. Now, mind you, they weren't, happy-go-lucky individuals all the time, but they would be almost as honorable as the idea of the Supreme Court.
Okay. Well,
I
they were
said
pretty
the idea,
neutral.
Eli.
They were pretty neutral. Personality-wise, they were a little stuffy, but I have nothing really bad to say about them. Didn't really know many of them.
Okay.
But on the
ran
other
pretty
hand,
well.
these weapons all had previous masters before. So who's to say that there's not another calling for these weapons? And if they're in the care of this council, how will they ever get a hold of them?
I'm more in the thought that Lucius here has a point when it comes to our passing. While I'm not keen on the idea of handing over the weapons anytime soon, I would like to feel comfortable knowing that when I do pass, it doesn't fall into the hands of someone like me, I guess. That's kind of a weird way to put that.
I will promise
Into the
you all
wrong
this.
hands. Lucy, yeah? Is that
Something
what you
like
mean?
that.
Okay.
Something like that.
Perhaps we don't say these type of things outside of these walls, but I understand what you're saying, Lucy. You are an interesting young man. You are much more diplomatic than your father.
Well, I try not to be too transparent.
Understandably. What I can promise you this is that in any event, I would oversee anything that happens with the champion's weapons once the task is completed. I will ensure that you are all informed of what exactly is being tried, what is being attempted, and will get your consent of what can and can't be done the entire time. Unlike what young Eli here was saying, I don't plan to have any rats in a lab.
I think what would be best moving forward, respectfully, all we have to go on your intentions is Ollie's word, which does mean a lot. No, nod at Ollie. And yours. I think a show of faith would be helpful in maybe dropping a layer of mistrust here. I assume you know about the lantern.
From the legends I've been told and what Ollie's been told, yes.
I would feel more comfortable, personally, if you would help us secure the lantern before anything is promised or otherwise decided on.
Interesting. Make a persuasion check.
Maybe.
Got this.
Okay. It's better than average. That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Woo!
So 11. I have a +9.
Well, I would be happy to oblige. What did you have in mind, Lucy?
Well, that is yet to be seen. I understand that your resources are supposed to be extremely helpful in this. Basically, we need a way into the temple on the island off the coast of this city. To our knowledge, there are many of the Scion Knights who I'm not sure if you're familiar with.
No.
Are you familiar? The city has a strange ritualistic practice where a person at random becomes... You probably know this part. Anyway, the temple itself has many of the Scion Knights, and apparently, from what we've gathered, has the lantern as well. I assume they are not going to hand it over willingly, so if you have anything that might help in retrieving it. And he just kind of leads into it.
If you have a plan, I'm sure we can help fulfill it. Whether it be manpower, weapons, which I'm sure you wouldn't need at this point, knowledge, I would be happy to try and use my political influence.
Well,
But you're not giving me a lot to go off of. If you just wish to enter the temple, we could raid it right now.
I think we'd prefer to do it a little more covertly.
But do we? Do we care?
Well, the less of the people knowing that we have it, the better, I figure, right?
Agreed. And I would
Won't they
assume
know?
that a politician such as yourself would understand the value of having continued diplomatic relations with Hansor. So I'm surprised at your willingness to raid the temple right away.
Well, a small backwood city in a continent far away. To be honest, I have little to no interest of this place. I'm simply putting offers on the table. My resources are available to you. But you must be the ones to decide how to use them.
Well, in this situation, knowledge seemed extremely helpful, assuming, and I'm not meaning to be offensive here, but that you would have it given you've only just arrived. What exact information would you be? I mean, could you get to blueprints of the temple, or some form of entry that maybe we haven't considered?
Pappas, make arrangements to go to the library. Find any information you can on the temple, including its construction, its ownership, its origins, and its history. Purchase anything that needs to be done.
Library. There's a library.
Anything further?
I think, as far as I'm concerned, yeah,
we need lots
Laura,
of
go ahead.
stuff. We need lots of stuff. We need to be invisible. Can you make us all invisible and soundproof?
He just got his cloak. I mean,
what the fuck?
let
This
him feel
guy's like,
special for a little while.
okay, put it on, Eli. Can you
Big stealth check.
temporarily make us all invisible?
That would make me feel better.
Yeah.
I just imagine us all escaping the temple under the cloak with the lantern, like in Harry Potter.
Oh my god.
It will take some time, but we do have an alchemist on the ship that might be able to create some type of elixir that you might be speaking of.
I have one other sort of off-topic, maybe out there question for you. Do you know why Thule is waking up?
I don't know why he would awaken, per se, other than being coerced, being summoned.
So when all of us started being called to these weapons, why do you think that started? Because other people were trying to awaken Thule?
It is my best guess, but I would assume that you all would know this more than I would. You've been here the entire time. You are the ones who are collecting the weapons. You are the ones who are traveling the lands and learning all of the things that you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
I'd assume.
Yeah. Well, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people with a lot of varying opinions about themselves and why they're doing what they're doing.
Well, as you mentioned, Alara, I have just arrived. The feet on the ground is not something that I would know intimately, unlike yourselves.
So you didn't know about the champions' weapons and the champions and Thule before all this?
Yes, I knew of the legends of each, but the practical application that we're facing now, you have all lived it, and yet you ask me for the answers for it.
I think what's going on is there's no guidebook to being a champion. There isn't any teacher or school. It's pretty much learning on your feet. And in our experience, a lot of people seem to have more knowledge, or at least new knowledge that we weren't aware of. I suppose we were just curious if you knew something we didn't.
No. I can tell you the history of Thule. I can tell you some of the history of the champions. But aside
Well,
from that, I'm not really sure what you're asking of me. Why do you think Thule is awakening now?
I have no idea. I have been asking that since the beginning.
I'm under the impression that Thule is being awakened, not awakening.
That's
And
right.
I have the thought that maybe the weapons for the previous champions act as some form of defense against this happening. And in that idea of symbiotic relationships between us and them, it does seem that there was a selection made to do so. Everything else, though, we kind of just have to run with as we go.
We need to start taking notes and maybe keep them safe in some sort of blue box.
Welcome, Raiders.
Welcome in, Raiders. Good to see you all.
Well, I think the information should be rather enlightening. Again, I'd prefer not to storm the castle, as it were, but should it come to that, I suppose we'll let you know.
I would tend to agree with Eli. A diplomatic approach is always the best way to go about it. Alternatively, if that is not an option, the covert way is always the best. But if it comes down to it and force is necessary, then the time will come with that when it does. But again, I only offer my resources. It must be you who choose what to do with them.
All right. I think getting this information, you let us know as soon as it arrives, I assume. In the meantime, maybe you could stretch your political legs, although the Scion Knights almost seem to be more of a religious entity, it feels like. If not erring on the side of a cult. But you're more than welcome to try to reason your way in, I suppose.
I will see what I can do.
Your name carries a lot of weight, after all.
True. Is there anything else?
Lucy just looks at the rest of the party.
Then I have a question for you, of course, to a show of faith, as Lucy so eloquently put it earlier. Once you have the lantern in hand, what do you plan to do?
Well, the lantern, kind of audibly noticeable that Lucy has no fucking idea, is making this up on the spot. It will show many things to us. The history of the lantern does speak of many things in terms of helping with insight, and it, if nothing else, will act as bait to our enemies to make things more clear as to who is trying to awaken Thule. And it's more of a precautionary measure than anything, as we have reason to believe that the lantern, in and of itself alone, may be able to awaken Thule.
He squints his eyes towards you. So you have no idea what to do next.
Correct. He doesn't laugh, but he says correct.
So is this why you all wish to just keep the weapons and hide?
No, there are a lot of players in this. And for whatever reason, these guys have been chosen to defend something. And there are a lot of different stories that we're hearing of horrible, horrible dooms that could come, depending on which person makes a move first. So I think we are hesitant because at the end of the day, if everyone would just sit down and stop trying to awaken Thule, we wouldn't have any issues. So we have no use to awaken Thule. He can stay asleep. That would be fine. But we're just trying to stop people from ripping open portals and releasing a giant thing called the Silence that's going to destroy and eat away everything.
Theoretically.
Huh?
So what you're telling me is you wish to wait in the comfort and the eye of the storm before it passes over. You're just simply awaiting which direction it will come in.
That's
Well, I mean,
actually
I don't really...
very eloquent way to put that. In a way, we are. But I will say that it is absolutely a precautionary act in obtaining it. It's what happens after that we can't really foresee yet. Which is where your resources will help, because I do believe people will come out of the shadows at that point to attempt to retrieve it.
Interesting. And Alari, you mentioned players, plural.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know of Racilian. Who are the others?
Before she answers that, there's actually just a small, quick question I wanted to ask you.
Lucy?
I know I've asked a lot already.
You asked a show of faith, and I showed it. I am asking for you to show faith now.
That is unfortunately fair.
Rhea from the City of Gold.
Didn't have to add City of Gold, man. Okay, we're going there.
I was going to ask him if he's moved on the City of Gold yet, since he knew about the foreman and everything.
Well, he said he spoke to my parents.
Brazilian feels that Rhea is trying to open a portal, and by doing so will summon this type of silence or whatever. And therefore, he's trying to collect the weapons to take on Thule to harness his power to stop her. And she needs Thule to harness the power to open the portal. Those are the stories that we've gotten so far. Now you know as much as we do.
And which do you believe?
We're torn on that.
Everyone's
Oh my
I just imagine everyone's faces darting around to other people.
Like,
Yeah.
Everyone just sighed there.
I believe Racilian to be evil, and he just wants to use the weapons for his own personal gain and power.
He might
is-
not be evil, Pavo.
He destroyed towns.
He thinks he can change it all.
By killing the innocents. I can't follow that.
I don't think any of us trust anybody outside of our own party.
See,
And
this
for
is
some of
why
us,
I'm
that includes
hoping
you.
So the lantern
obtaining the lantern will make
will
things a little
reveal
more clear.
people's true motives, most likely. And it is believed that a tribe of Aarakocra of my kind hold the key to where the resting place is.
That part is true. It is your people who guard the tomb, Pavo.
I unfortunately have never been there.
Something tells me that that might change shortly. Well, I can say this. If you're all divided, you'll never truly be in unison. How do you plan to defeat something of such power, when you're not even sure if it's the person you should be fighting?
As Lucy has been saying, I believe that there's going to come a point in time where our enemy is clear, and we're all united in the fact that we want to do the right thing.
And what is the right thing? Going based off of the two examples you've just put forth.
In my opinion, neither of them really. I think the right thing to do would be to talk Racilian out of it and prevent Rhea from awakening Thule. That seems to be the right thing with the information that I have.
That is fair. And I hope that that is the outcome. As I've said in many of these cases, when diplomacy does not work, at times force must be shown.
We're prepared to do what we need to do.
All of you?
I think so.
He looks around the table.
I'll look at Ash.
Yeah, Ash, are you with us?
Ash just got food in his mouth, like
Picking his teeth.
I'm just here for the flame.
yeah, I'm just here for the lantern, guys. That's what I want.
Well, Ash, is it? You know,
Please.
by taking this lantern, based on what you've heard so far, that you will be tied in with this as well. If you are the one to be chosen by the lantern.
Seems like it.
And your thoughts on any of this? You're being pulled into a war.
Well, actually, I just need the lantern for something completely different. So, I mean, if you guys just don't want anybody to have it, I'll just take it. And that seems I would probably go far enough for a while. Then we can handle it where we are. I have to say, like, everything I've heard here, I never heard before. So I'm kind of wondering what this is all about. Champions, weapons. Hey, I'm just a druid. That's all I just came here to look at the lantern. All the rest is news to me. So right now, I'm just kind of processing information.
Well, perhaps it's time that your new companions update you on what exactly you're walking into. But something tells me the minute that you get that lantern, no matter where you go, the target will be on your back.
Yeah, Ash.
But I was coming for the lantern with or without them anyway. So this hasn't changed. I guess I'm just aware there are more people looking for it. I'll have to be more careful. It's like I've been here a year and like hardly anyone talks about the lantern, and all of a sudden it's like the big subject of the discussion. It's kind of weird. But yeah, it seems pretty intense. I should probably ask for guidance.
Not a bad choice. But power usually makes strange bedfellows.
Yep.
Well, with no plan, very little information to go off of, I guess we will just play it by ear, as they say. But I will say this. I will not put up with decisiveness. My resources are available, but they must have strict orders to do so. If there's indecision between the group, I will not push forward.
Understandable.
My suggestion would be to unify. And while you are friends, that does not make a unit. So, I will ask for word from one of you. Who that is up to you. Do you understand?
We do.
Yes.
Seems fair.
Well, until I'm able to collect the information and resources that you've already asked for, you have free reign of the ship. You're welcome to use the meeting room at any point in time. Papas here will show you to your quarters. Each of you will have your own. And anything else that you require, simply ask one of the servants. If it's questionable,
Thank
they'll
you.
come and ask me. But for the
Thank
most
you,
part,
Father.
yes.
Allow me to call for the servants to clean up this mess.
Oh, that was right in my ear.
Quite a mighty whistle you've developed with lips. Well done.
Thank you, Father. I was pretty hyped about it.
Well, I will leave you all for the time being. Of course, any other questions, come and find me.
Thank you. Yeah, it seems like we have a lot to discuss.
Agreed. To all of you, have a very good night. But before we go, perhaps one last drink.
It's hard to drink on a moving train.
Oh my gosh.
That's good.
Lord Lucius puts down his flagon, gets up, and begins to walk towards the door. As he reaches for the handle, pulling it open,
It's a heart attack.
the high altitude seems to be affecting Lucy more
Of
particularly.
course.
The
Ah, balls.
sinuses.
Let him bleed first. Let him bleed first. That made such an impression.
Lucy, go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
Accidentally grabbed the wrong thing.
Damn.
$68.
68. Okay. As you let out a bellowing sneeze, Lord Presage looks back. Gesundheit. As he turns and walks out the door.
Lucy just looks like terrified.
As Papas looks up towards you, can I offer you a... Oh. As you all look towards Lucy, now seemingly reverted once again back to Yarn Lucy.
Oh my
Oh my gosh,
god.
that's
How
the
many
like,
times can you
most
get that
rolled-
out of
the
100?
most rolled
Yeah, you got that a lot of times.
Fuck. Oh my god.
yarn ball.
A stringy Lucy appears sitting amongst all of you, like that of a crocheted humanoid. Almost like pasta that's been strung together in strange ways.
Immediately look over at Ash.
Choking on my food.
I don't even want to stand next to that tabaxi. So flammable.
Does it look like a ball of yarn?
He looks like a Lucy made out completely out of yarn.
I start purring. My eyes have like stars in it. My
Oh
clothes
my
are
God.
coming out.
Oh God. Okay, Alara will go over. What the fuck?
The
You gonna
furry
attack
angel of
Lucy,
death
or,
has
like-
appeared. You look over and see his eyes turn into anime as his pupils completely dilate, ears slightly going back to his head.
I will say, if I'm sitting next to Ash, I stand up and sit at the other side of the table.
Can you walk? I feel like the last time you were a doll, you could
The
walk.
first time I was a doll, I pretended not to walk, and I think y'all have thought that I just
Oh.
couldn't from that point forward. But I can absolutely walk.
Okay.
The only like difference in terms of like tactics and everything like that is I'm highly flammable. So
Oh,
I
good.
guess I would have like it probably means I'm like disadvantaged at like fire tactics.
Okay.
Just avoid it.
So we have a Tabaxi wildfire druid. This is fantastic.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is probably my number one enemy right now. Tabaxi.
And I just want to play with the yarn person in front of me because it looks like fun.
So
Oh my
good.
So
God.
I start chasing Lucy.
Oh my god.
My God.
Lucy
Well.
starts running. Laura, help! Help!
I don't know. Alara will try and stop Ash. She'll try and grab Ash. Hey, now.
As you Benny Hill around the table, Ash begins to get more and more enthusiastic, revved up by the idea of an entire yarn person to dismantle. Ash, you, my friend, have been granted advantage.
Of course.
Is that helper still in the room with us?
Oh, Pappas is still watching
Oh,
all of
God.
this happen with his jaw almost on the floor at this point.
Lean over
As
to Ollie.
Lucy's running
I don't
by
think
him,
this is going to help our cause.
Is Ash still
As Lucy's
chasing
running
him?
by him, he points at me. He's like, "Not a word, not a word." He's like still running around the table.
I'll jump on the table to try to catch Lucy instead of like running across the table, like around the
I got a
table.
suggestion.
All right, as Ash jumps up onto the table, ready to pounce, Ash, go ahead and make an acrobatics check. Lucy, you wanted to cast suggestion?
I just want to say,
I really
down.
want Presage to walk back in right now.
Yeah.
Acrobatics.
Great.
17 acrobatics.
17,
Exactly.
and that was that with advantage?
No, I didn't use the advantage for that. I just rolled normal.
Okay, so go ahead and use advantage for it, because it's on the next
Okay.
roll.
Well, then that's 22.
22. Okay. He jumps up onto the table with lightning fast reflexes. As he begins to leap towards you, Lucy, he pins you down to the ground with ease as he begins to pull some of the yarn apart.
Yo. I'm gonna cast a
20
spell
points
if that's
of flash
happening.
damage.
Yeah, I'm casting a spell if that's happening.
You
Yeah.
take 2 points of piercing damage, and you can go ahead and cast suggestion. What is
your
your-
suggestion? Says, "Get off me now."
Get off me, meow.
I need a wisdom saving throw, which he's a druid, so that sucks. But I have a high DC.
That's the 21.
It's barely.
Why don't you turn him into a little kitty cat like you turned me into a bird?
Oh my
I
God.
might. Fortunately, that's a wisdom save too, and he's a druid.
Ash, dude,
Little help.
cut it out. Cut it out.
Sorry, I don't know what got into me. That was fun. Whew. Let's do that
You-
again sometime.
Let's not ever again.
Yeah.
From the claws
that's
of
the-
yarn,
There's to discuss.
From the
Sure,
clawing
it's a
of
white
yarn, Lucy, you did separate one single strand of yarn as you begin to play with it amongst your claws.
Playing
Like
with
this-
some of my
it's
skin.
like-
That's
Yeah.
Yep.
Where did he get it from? Where's is it like his hair? Hopefully, well, I
I
guess
think-
not. Hopefully. Lucy's
I-
hair.
I'd make a ring with
that'd
it,
be way worse.
Oh my god.
Okay.
and I give my hand to Lucy to help him up.
Very good. Now, if we could act like adults.
Look who's talking. Why did you have to change it to yarn?
I didn't mean. I told you about this already. Sometimes weird shit happens like this. Most
Well, that's-
everyone's learned to just roll with it by now.
That's weirder than weird. Never
I like
saw
the
that before.
gerbil.
Yeah, Gerbil Lucy was so cute.
That sounds tasty.
Not talk about.
No,
Oh, never mind.
no. Ash, he's still Lucy. You can't be mean to him. You can't chase him. You can't pull his yarn out, and you can't eat him if he's ever a gerbil. Do you promise?
But roasted gerbil is so good.
I don't care. You don't get to eat Lucy. You have to promise to be a part of this group to get the lantern. You have to treat Lucy with respect no matter what weird shape he's in.
I'll do my best.
We've got more important things to discuss.
Yeah.
Obviously not.
He
I'll start eating.
walks over and sits where Presage was previously sitting. All right.
Ooh.
Yeah, head of the table, baby.
Y'all are going to get dark-hearted by Crimson if you keep this up.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
know,
sure.
I know. Shh, everyone focus.
All right.
So
Just as a first thing, and Ash, I know you don't have a lot to go off of. Who here? I'm going to ask who we trust more, just as a base starting point. So you have to choose one, your hand will raise for one of these people. Who trusts Rhea?
Ash will put his hand
Show of
up.
hands.
Mhm.
Again, this is more than Brazilian.
Trust Rhea more than Resilient?
Yes.
Oh,
And
Yeah,
your
I'll
hand
put my
has
hand
to
up.
raise for one of these. Like says again with wider eyes.
And
For
the
those
reason
listening to the
being is
audio,
Rhea hasn't
Ash
done
Bravo and-
anything in front of us.
Oh,
What's that?
So the
I'm
people
just
who raise
saying
their
for
hands were
listening to our audio podcast. Me, Pavo, Ollie, Pavo, and Ash put their hands up for trusting Rhea over
of course.
Vasilia.
Who trusts Brazilian more? So I got two kind of slightly hand raised from Trix and Eli.
Look,
What about you, Lucy? You didn't vote.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I was really hoping it wasn't going to be a tie.
Yeah, I understand that feeling.
Huh.
All right, let's
Sorry, out of game.
discuss it.
But before we discuss it, quick thank you to our good friend Dag from down south or down under for the raid.
Hi, Dag.
Welcome in, Routers.
Hi.
First, I'd like Alara, if you don't mind. I know you've done before, but pitch us Brazilian. You're on Shark Tank. I polymorph into a giant shark. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Obviously, he has done some. I can't look at Rob. I'm going to break this. Okay. Obviously, he has done some horrible, horrible things, not just to general people that we don't know, but to a lot of us here. And I recognize that I might personally be having issues because of my past with Ricilian. And the Ricilian that I used to know, I don't know what happened to him. So I really want to try and talk to him because him and I made a promise, and I don't know what happened. I forgot, which I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe, I don't know. He has a weird thing with memory. Maybe he did something. I don't know. And I just want to talk to him because I feel like if I can just remind him of who he was and who we were, I might be able to convince him to help us.
Okay.
That's
Who
valid.
would like to pitch for Rhea? No one holds any kind of strong relationship, but
You asked to choose between the two, and between the two, Rhea literally has, as far as we know, hasn't done anything. All we know of her intentions are through Ricilian, who I don't trust.
right.
So to be able to say one over the other, obviously, how do we not trust Rhea? Through just hearsay intentions, when literally she had the opportunity to show her true colors when we were in the City of Gold to do something. In fact, all she did was let us go.
Doesn't that make her more suspicious?
Why?
That we had to
'Cause
hear about what she really wants from somebody else. At least Ricilian.
if you take his word to be true,
Why would he lie?
To
why
get what
wouldn't he lie?
wants.
Well, then you can say that about Rhea.
What has she done to make you think that she is lying about anything?
She banished us from that city.
For breaking a law of theirs.
Yeah, and if she
She's
wanted
got-
us,
I mean, she could have kept us trapped. She could have.
No,
forced
she doesn't
us.
want us. No, she wouldn't have kept us trapped.
She could have
Uh,
taken she could have kept us, and she could have taken the weapons from us at that time.
she could have also just not, convicted us of anything and skipped the whole trial completely if she really wanted to just gain our trust for the sake of us returning the weapons to her.
Isn't one of your friends still staying with Rhea?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Alcor is there.
Oh,
Alcor is
right.
with Rhea.
Well,
Well,
his
Alcor
His
did
spirit.
tell
I
me.
guess.
Alcor told me to trust Rhea.
and do you trust Alcor?
Never really liked Ricilian.
So whose
What'd
word
you
do
say?
you trust more, Alcor's or Ricilian?
Alcor
Did you
never
say that
really liked.
awkward?
Never really liked
Say that
Ricilian. Alcor never. Jesus Christ. Alcor.
Sorry. There's like,
Awkward.
there's like a weird lag.
Okay.
Hold on, Poppus,
Yeah.
are you getting this?
Lucy looks over.
Oh, you see Papa's
Oh, you're still
furiously
here.
scribbling away at this point.
Just taking the minutes down.
Papas, would you be able to give us the room?
Late for that.
Yes. As he begins
you.
to roll up his parchments and quickly exits the room.
Look, I'm
Can we
just
hear
gonna
him on
be.
the other side of the door?
He's like,
My God.
He does turn back before he closes the door. If I could offer one suggestion.
Mhm.
If it's impossible to decide which of the two you would rather trust, perhaps it's better to think about it in a different way. Who is it exactly that potentially could cause the most damage in this situation?
Very enlightening. Papas, thank you.
Much obliged. Best of luck. And he closes the door quickly behind him.
Me
Still
either.
brings us to complete
Both
and
of
utter
them.
destruction through the silence or resetting of time.
I mean, it's
I
both
wanted him to
equally
feel
great
good.
if they're both true. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna be frank with everybody. I need to try with Russillian. I know I'm not gonna be okay fighting him or killing him if I didn't try. So I need to do that.
I understand your need to try. My fear is, though, he will use your trust and your wanting to trust him to his advantage on you.
I have to take that risk.
What if it kills one of us?
It won't, because
Or all
I'm
of
just.
us?
It won't.
And you're so certain about it? You want so
Well-
deep in your soul to trust this guy.
I knew
trust
who he
Alara.
once was.
I trust
And-
Alara too, and I also trust that she truly wants to turn this guy, and I think he would be able to manipulate that.
So you're telling me that if I try and I do convince him from my perspective, it won't matter to you?
It'll matter, but I
The
will
room
still
goes
question
silent.
whether or not he's using you. Because he knows we'll trust your word.
Well, what do you want from me, Pavel? This isn't a perfect situation. Rhea could be using us. Anyone could be using us. Ollie's dad could be using us. Anyone could be using us. Yeah, I get it.
No offense,
Russillian has done some horrible, horrible things. The only reason that he has done those horrible, horrible things is because in his mind, the end game is to reset it all. So it all doesn't matter. And I know that's terrible because he lost his way. And there was a time when he knew that that was really bad. And I don't know what happened in between there, if he went crazy or if he was pressured or what, but I have to try to get him back.
Do what you must.
I mean, if Ilara doesn't try, then there's the chance of one of the two people doing something horrible. If she does try,
I believe once we get the
she might
lantern,
as well
that might
just
be
try.
revealed.
Yeah, oh, totally. But I mean, she might as well just try, and if she succeeds, great. If he turns around and backstabs her, then we knew someone was going to try something anyway. But we're going to be prepared regardless. We might as well try to put him on our side.
The reason I'm asking this is there's likely going to come a point where we have to choose. I want us all to be on the same page when we get there. I know we don't have a lot to go on. On one hand, you have Rhea, who's in whole a complete mystery to us and to her intentions.
Let's call her. See what she says. Tell her what
And
Russillian's
what are we
saying.
meant to ask her? Keeping in mind that she's been able to see every move we've made,
She couldn't see us talking to Russillian.
aside from that one. She could see this conversation right now, I suppose.
No.
And what would
I
she
think
say that would...
She can only see what happens in the champions' tombs. That's what she said.
That true? Yeah.
I checked.
You did.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
well, my mistake then.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the other hand, there's Russillian, who... trying to put my own biases aside, certainly looks like he's making steps that someone who's seen this all before would make.
What does that mean? It's cryptic.
I mean, he does know. He seems to know what's going to happen. He told us when he's going to meet with us next.
He
Yeah, he
almost
looked at
seems
all my
certain
timelines.
that he knew already that would come to pass. Not like
Yeah.
maybe I'll see you there. It's, I will see you there.
Mhm.
Like he's seen that happen already. And I weirdly find a little comfort in that.
I think he's trying to do the right thing. I believe he's trying. Rhea, I'm not so sure about.
I think they both are. I think that's the problem. Rhea just wants to
No.
go home.
Rhea's trying to do the right thing for herself. He's trying to do the right thing for, I think, the greater good, if that makes any sense.
By destroying everything.
Well,
He's
Rhea might
trying-
destroy it.
Let me ask you this, Pavo. Put yourself in the mind of a time wizard who's already seen everything happen. If somehow you had to do a numerous amount of horrible things in order to reset everything and undo all those horrible things, did you do anything horrible in the first place?
We're assuming he's seen the future versus just what's been in the past.
He has seen the future.
We are assuming that that is the case.
You're just assuming there is one future, that your decision doesn't make any sense. So what are we discussing? If the future is what it is, what does it matter what you decide today? If he's seen the future and there is only one, this discussion is completely useless.
Because then our
So there's
choices
more
now
than-
should matter be able to change
He's
that.
trying to prevent that exact thing from coming to pass. He's trying to stop that. He sees it and he's trying to stop it.
Yeah, but anybody's fighting it could change it without him having to reset everything and killing everything and doing all the thing he does. There are other ways to do it. There is not only one way. Otherwise, what's the whole point of making a decision now? If everything is already written and it doesn't matter what happens tomorrow because whatever we do, this will come to pass, and the only way to get away from it is for him to do what he needs to do. What's the whole point? What are we fighting for? We're fighting because we can make a difference as individuals. He's not the one making the decision for the whole world. We're all fighting our way to avoid this. And his way is not the only way. So killing
Well,
people
this-
and resetting
right.
everything is not the only way to do it.
But this is what Alara wants to tell him. Does
Mhm.
that make sense? Like that's exactly what she's trying to do. Is to explain that to him because he's lost sight of that along the way. Is
He
our
used to
best
know.
case scenario. You're right.
Hard to think that a second ago you were chasing me around this room. It's actually very profound.
Well, don't tempt me again. How long are you
I'll
like
try
this?
not to. Who's to say? All right. Should we call either of them now? And if so,
I'm gonna
what should we say?
I'm gonna call Racilian.
Okay.
I haven't slept in a very, very fucking long time because these games keep happening and we don't ever long rest. So
We'll get to sleep soon.
I can only do it once.
So
Tonight.
for today, we'll have to pick.
But okay, you said when you can call people, it's only 25 words.
Yeah.
Isn't it like the kind of discussion you need more than 25 words to have?
Yeah.
She wants
Okay.
to call him to set up a meeting. So she
Oh.
I'm hoping that he'll take me back to that place. Ash, you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm hoping
that sounds like
he will,
no someplace. That place.
he
I've been
will
to that
take-
place. I'm pretty sure it's not the same place.
It's a safe place where no prying eyes can be there, and that's where I'm assuming he is now, unless he's out doing bad things, probably. So I'm hoping I did it once. I'm hoping he'll agree to it again.
Are you
gonna
confident
say
in
the same
yourself to be
stuff.
able to tell if he's truly lost or not?
I'm gonna do
We
my
don't have-
best, Pavo.
We don't have the other side of the story. He's gonna say the same stuff and you're not armed against it. He can tell you whatever he wants. We need to hear Ria's side of the story.
We have heard Ria's side of the story.
No, we
I don't
haven't.
know.
No.
Yes.
Oops, sorry.
We have not.
What have we heard from Ria? What?
Ria told us everything about her point of view from what happened with Russillian. She said that Russillian stared into the flame of Thule for so long and he wouldn't stop raving about the silence. He challenged her on it. There was a whole big uproar over it, Octavo, and then got into a fight, and then Gallia stepped in and Russillian killed her.
She doesn't know that she's been accused of trying to take the flame for her people. She doesn't
How is
know
that going to
that.
help my conversation with Russillian?
To see how she
Her
reacts to the
answer
information.
that.
Eli's saying that maybe the call should be made to Ria instead.
I get that. I just don't understand what do you want to ask Ria? You want to just come out and
If
say,
that's
hey?
true.
Eli wants to put her in the hot seat.
I agree. And if you want me to have some
what's-
type of mistrust for her, I would like to understand her point of view on if she knows what she's doing.
If she's the one who told us this.
About the silence.
I don't understand. Yeah. She just doesn't believe Russillian. She thinks he's crazy.
She mentioned absolutely nothing about using the flame to return back to her home with her people.
Oh,
She-
that.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
She doesn't
We want
know
to
that.
see her reaction to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see if she has an explanation or if it's contrived.
Okay.
She's going to know that we were talking to Russillian, though.
If she knows everything about us, she knows that I know Russillian anyway. So she knows that Alcor knew Russillian. So
She only knows what
Doesn't
happened
matter.
in the tombs. And anything Alcor's told her. That's all she knows.
okay.
So you can make a call now. I'm sure we'll all understand whoever you'd like to speak to first, but you've heard our sides of how we're thinking right now.
Okay. So I'm gonna call Ria, and I'm gonna ask her what specifically.
Are you bad?
Ask her directly. Are you trying to take the flame of Thule for yourself? To bring the Kalishtar home?
And what if she says yes?
Well, then that's a huge problem because
Is it?
she can't. She can't do that.
Why not?
It would line up with what Russillian told us about her. Whether she thinks it will open a portal and release the silence will still be be
That's still
said.
hearsay.
But it does give some level of doubt to her intentions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make the call.
I cast sending. Oh, God. Hi. It's Alara. Just wondering, are you planning on using the flame? Oh my gosh.
13 more.
13 more.
Mhm.
Of Thule to go back home. How you doing otherwise? Miss you. Bye.
Oh, God.
What you went with? Miss you, bye.
A few moments pass. At first, no response. However, you wait a little while longer. when you hear Ria's voice enter into your mind. Good evening to you as well, Alara. I'm not sure I understand your question, as the flame already resides with me.
Fuck, we knew that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm good. Hope
Yeah.
you are doing well. Okay, bye.
It's the dragon. Is she planning on awakening the
She
dragon?
can't out sending again today.
She knows what we meant, I think. I think that was an
I think she
evasive
should have been
answer.
able to derive what was meant there.
I think so too.
Maybe you can make
And
a
now-
collect call.
Collect call.
I
Do
could
you accept a
scry.
charge of 1 skill point?
Scry.
I can't talk though. If I scry, I can only watch.
You'd be able to see if maybe she looks panicked
Will she know?
or upset.
I think there's a chance, yeah.
There's a slight chance, but
She already knows
I-
we're suspicious. Do we care?
no, I'll try it. I will cast scrying. And the target has to make a wisdom saving throw. Well, we're fucked.
She already has so much wisdom.
Okay.
It's like a plus 20 to wisdom.
Might as well try.
As you reach out towards the cosmos, you close your eyes for a moment before they instinctively flicker open again. The rest of you watch as Alara's eyes seem to be now of a milky white. Alara, your vision leaves the room that you're in, raising high up into the sky, higher than the ship itself. As your consciousness begins to travel, faster than light itself, you zoom over top, past Hansor, over top of the mountains, down deep into the Presage mines, and into the City of Gold. Your vision follows you into the giant golden tower, again seeing the shining emeralds that flicker. It brings you up to the top of the tower. And as the vision begins to slow, you enter into the uppermost room, a place you've been before, where a trial was had. There are no other lights in the room that shine other than the flicker of the green flame. There is no one in the room but Ria herself, as she stares deeply into the green flame, unmoving, unnerved.
Unnerved?
Unnerved. Almost like a
So-
statue
Oh.
in a trance. And that, my friends, is where we're going to take a very short break for the evening. With that said, we're going a little bit long in the tooth today, so we are going to skip over question period for today to try and get some more stuff in. What else was I going to say? Oh, right. We are having
Raffle.
our giveaway for the evening.
Yeah.
So, we are giving away a wonderful set of sketch dice by the people over at Mithril Armory. Phenomenal company that continues to offer amazing, innovative D&D products. You can get clothes, you can get terrain, you can get minis, you can get dice of all kinds. I myself have actually started to work on a set of dice. Not my dice, their dice. But with that said, go ahead and make sure to hit !dice in chat right now to be eligible to enter. You have to make sure that you are following. That is the only criteria to win one of these lovely, lovely sets of dice. But with that said, folks, we're going to take a short break, just a little bio. Give us maybe 5 minutes. We're going to make this one very, very short because we are running a little late, as I said. But in the meantime, make sure to go get your apple juices, your orange juices, your mistrust juices. And we will be right here, coming back shortly, to finish the epic conclusion of tonight's episode. So with that said, stay tuned, guys. We'll be back shortly. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we do this. One thing's first and foremost. So, welcome back.
Thanks.
Not you. Is there anything else any of you would like to do for the remainder of the evening?
Oh, yes, I would like to tell everyone what just happened. Yeah. So I guess to save time, Alara recaps exactly what happened.
Okay.
I have things I want to do, but I don't know if I should do it because of time.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Well, Pavo, I was wondering if you might return the spade to me.
I look over to Trix.
Who has the spade?
Who has it?
Who has the spade?
Oh, perfect. I didn't notice the exchange there. Trix, I'm thinking maybe I can find a way to bond that weapon with you. Maybe it doesn't have to be that weapon. I mean, this wasn't a hammer before, and I'll look at my weapon. It was an axe. So Gibbles granted me the ability to kind of help everyone find their potential. Maybe I can start by having you bond with that weapon, and by that weapon, maybe I can turn it into whatever. I mean, it's not an exact science because I don't know how I even did this to begin with, but I imagine whatever you imagine yourself wielding, if you can portray that vision to me, maybe I can take the weapon. And last time I did it in my sleep, and I think I got transported to Gibble's realm by doing so. So maybe I can do that again with the spade for you.
Well, I mean, there'd certainly be no harm in trying.
That's what I was
That would be great, yeah. I mean, it's worth a shot.
Is that what you envision? A hero's pistol?
I mean, yeah, I'm starting to get really good at shooting. So, I mean, that would be excellent. But whatever can be done, can be done.
I guess it's better than a spoon.
Spade
All right,
is
if
kind
you-
of like a really big
Well,
I was
if you
waiting.
can hand- if you can hand it to me, maybe we'll see what happens in the morning. And if it's still a spade in the morning, then I'll return it to you either way.
All right. Well, hand it over.
I think that's a really good idea. Anything that makes us stronger will really help.
Well, I hope it works.
I hope so too. That being said, did anyone get an uneasy feeling from Ria's behavior?
Yeah, it seemed not genuine. It seems like either I made her nervous or she was staring into the exact same thing that she said that Brazilian was looking at and went crazy. So that's
Maybe
weird.
Bravo.
the flame itself is influencing both of them.
Yeah, maybe it's messing with their minds.
Maybe.
So if you need to talk to him, I know that's something you just need to do, and I understand that. My fear is more of him turning you against us than anything else.
Well, have some faith in me, Pavo. I've learned a lot since I came here. I don't trust everyone and everything anymore. And I know that he's going to have to atone for all the things that he's done.
What message are we sending to the viewers that your character development is not trusting people? Anyway.
The most trusting person in the group.
So, just a quick check here. When we first sat down, I asked everyone a question. Has anyone's answer changed?
I mean, I didn't know that we could just choose neither. I mean, I don't trust either of them.
Assume you
This is the
can't.
problem.
Assume you had to pick one.
We're still waiting for your vote.
Laura just stares at Lucy.
I trusted. Well, I wanted you guys to trust me about my father, and you gave me that chance to prove that he's trustworthy. So, I mean, it's not her father, but I would like to give Ilara a chance to prove that Russillian could be a better man, and it's worth a shot. So, I'm on the side of Ilara, if everyone else is. I mean, I am, but if that's the route we're taking.
There's a difference between choosing to support Alara and choosing to support Russillian.
Not right
I'm not
now,
saying
there
I
isn't.
trust him. I'm not saying I trust him, and I'm not saying that he can be changed. But I think we owe Alara the chance to try.
Also, I
Thanks,
think
Holly.
this idea of the thing affecting their minds kind of changes things a little bit, because that means that if it's a sort of spell they're under, perhaps it can be broken. It's one thing to try to change a whole person, but it's another thing to perhaps break an influence. So, if that's what the problem is, then maybe there's just another source that has to be accessed in order to stop it.
Good point.
That is a good point. I hope that's the case, actually.
We should find out.
So
You can't talk to her again tonight, can you, Alara? You gotta wait. All
Yeah,
right.
this group needs to go to bed sometime.
Yeah.
It's true.
Mhm.
so guys, how do you want to use the lantern? I know what I want to do with it, but what do you want to do with it?
I don't think we want to do anything with it, truthfully, but I think what's going to happen is we're going to take it. And Ash, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I think a lot of people are going to come after us immediately. So I know we promised the lantern to you, that you could take it and go, but I think it would be better if we stuck together for a little bit, because I think your chances of having the lantern after is better if you have us to help you.
Yeah, but why do people want the lantern? Why is the lantern useful?
To wake up the dragon.
Wake up Thule.
Yeah, it'll bypass all the champion's weapons.
And if the flame is, in fact, somehow manipulating both of them, giving Russillian some little pass here, then it may be just our destiny to use the flame ourselves to go straight to Thule and stop him once and for all.
Because usually a lantern needs a flame. Without a flame, a lantern is useless.
We know where the flame
Right.
is.
So the question is the lantern here to keep the flame away from Thule, or just to put it back in?
Put it back in.
Because if
Wake
it's
it
a
up.
prison,
That's why I want it.
if it's a prison to keep the flame away from him, then it's a whole different story.
All we know is that the
Mm.
lantern wakes him up. And a lot of people want to wake him up right now. So we're trying to get this lantern before they can.
Yeah.
And Pavo said he wants to wake him up to kill him,
That's
right?
Worst
That's
case
a
scenario,
yeah, that's
Okay.
a possibility. We don't
if it's in fact the flame that's that Rhea was staring in is also influencing other people's actions, which in turn may be leading to Thul's awakening in the first place. Go straight for the source.
It wants its flame. Didn't it like scream at you that time that you touched the crystal? It was like, give
No,
me
it didn't scream at
mine.
me. It screamed at our fallen hero. Shay.
Oh yeah, Shay. R.I.P.
Shall we
Okay.
get some rest?
Yeah,
We'll sleep
I
on
think
it.
So.
We'll sleep on it.
Yeah. I don't know
You
where to
wanna-
go. Where's the sleeping
Yeah,
quarters?
you want to call your buddy back in here?
Find out where we're supposed to.
Oh yeah,
Show us just some
Pompous.
sleeping quarters.
Poppus, you can come back in.
As you call
If-
outward,
He's listening.
go ahead, Ash.
Yeah, he's like, if he heard you now, he's heard the whole discussion we had. Because if you just call him out from where you are without opening the door, he got everything. That's all.
For the sake
I'll
of
go
the
around and
narrative,
check the door.
I'll say that Ollie gets up as you all stand, unsure, but with a little bit more insight. Eventually, he finds Poppus, who leads you to your individual rooms, going down a level from the main deck. You all find it a bit difficult to sleep that night, as your minds reel. What's up, Eli?
I think Ollie too wanted something. Chris, did you?
Oh, I'm before I'm going to bed, I'm just holding the weapon and just praying to Gibble and saying that I let him down the one time and I don't want to let him down again or my party. So please, again, grant me the power of the Heaven Smith, and I'll just kind of go to bed with that thought.
And then now that Ollie's kind of on his own, I wanted to knock on Ollie's door.
Breaking the
Sorry, I should have gone first. I didn't know what you wanted to do.
I'm just gonna lean this spade and then open the door. Hello?
Oh, were you sleeping? Sorry, Ollie.
Not exactly, but what is it?
Well, first of all, I just wanted to apologize if anything I said to your dad offended you. He pushed some buttons.
Oh, no worries. He can be a bit abrasive, and I've known him for all my life. I mean, of course I do, but I knew you'd be able to come around or at least hear him out. And that's all I
Well,
wanted.
I'm trying anyway, but I just wanted to make sure you knew that it's no reflection on our friendship, and I trust you. And I don't want that stuff coming between you and me or anybody else. I meant what I said when I said that we need to trust each other.
No worries. There was no hard feelings, honestly, Eli.
All right. Well, I also wanted you to, now that no one's around, read my aura. Kind
I
of
could
left
do
me
that.
feeling a little unsettled.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, yeah, the plan is to get everyone's auras up and running, with tricks in the spade. But I can see what I can do for you as well.
All right.
And I'll be like, here we go. And I'll just try to focus on her aura or his aura again.
Okay. As you begin
I'll summon the
to,
daggers.
with daggers in hand, all of you begin to focus intently on Eli. The two of you alone in the room. And you begin to see the shadowy image once again pop up around Eli. The shadow grows and grows, encompassing the entirety of the room. As your vision becomes black, with only being able to see Eli. And as you continue to focus, you begin to hear whispers. But the whispers are not coming from around you. The whispers seem to be coming from the daggers, as if trying to call out. You focus with all of your intent, but you can't make out the words that are being said. As you grow more and more weary, the darkness begins to fade back around. The silhouette now encompassing Eli once more, before it fades from your vision.
I see a lot of darkness, and I think your daggers are trying to say something, but I couldn't hear it. I think they're trying to talk to you and you alone.
And I've always kind of been, ever since Brasilian split my timeline and saw what I would become, part of me has always been afraid that I'm bad.
You're not bad, Eli.
Well, what if these daggers are, what if I'm being used this way? What if he's using me to do something bad?
I mean, if Alara's right, maybe he's intending to use you for something, in his mind, good.
Yeah.
We have no idea what his intentions are, but we do know that you're in control of yourself, and the more connected you can get with your weapons, the more in control you're going to be. So I'm not sure how you can hear them out. That might be something for you to discover on your own, but somehow.
Well, you always seem to know the right thing to do, Ollie, so promise me that if I'm ever doing the wrong thing, and if I'm ever hurting somebody, you put me down. You got it?
I don't think I can commit to that. I mean, if we can change Resilient, I'm sure we can talk to you.
Yeah,
Maybe
I know.
lock you
I'm
up.
saying, right. I'm just saying if everyone's backs are against the wall and it's me or it's everyone, you pick everyone. All right? Hopefully it won't come to that. Obviously, it's not what I want.
If I can come to grips with my powers, I'll make sure it never comes to that. That's our duty to ourselves. To figure out how these heroes' weapons work and use them to protect and keep everyone safe, including ourselves.
They'll just like sigh deeply. You're a good guy, Ollie. And I'll like clap him on the shoulder. Get some rest. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
No worries. You as well.
And he'll go to sleep.
And
Right
I'll
there,
close
in
the door
Ollie's
and
Good night. Let's lie on the floor.
I'll just kind of
No.
look at her as I go back to my spade or him. Okay, just whispering.
No, he'll like go back to his room and give Spike a scratch on the head, and then he'll go to sleep.
Okay. As you all find sleep for the evening, you awake the next morning, feeling refreshed.
So many possibilities now.
Ollie,
Whoa.
as you look down, the spade doesn't seem to have changed. While you're disappointed, you do receive some insight that in order for the weapons to bond with someone, it cannot be forced or done by another person.
Well, guess I should return this back to Trix.
As the morning comes to all of you, you know there is some time that must pass before the information and resources are collected. 3 days to be exact. Alara, what would you do in that 3-day period?
Whoa. Okay.
Just, here you go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one of those things is definitely I think first she's gonna find Lucy. Talk to Lucy.
Okay.
Hey.
Hello.
Asterisk this. Hey, I just want to give you a heads up because the first time I didn't. I know you already know, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm gonna call Resilient now.
Okay.
I
You gonna be okay?
hope so. If I don't come back, you'll have to avenge my death, though.
I'll be sure to do that.
Okay. I'm
Smile.
I'm just kidding. I'm gonna come back. It's fine. I'll be fine. He let us go the first time. He's got no reason to keep me the second time.
Wait, you're gonna go see him? You're trying to set up a meeting?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him to take me.
I'd like to come if you don't mind. I'll roll a persuasion check. That's a nat 20. I'm just kidding.
Well, let me ask you this. You didn't vote.
Picked up on
the
that,
other
did
day.
you?
Yeah. What you think is important to me?
I'm sorry? What?
What you think is important to me?
Oh. Well, that's silly. I think like everyone else, I have my doubts. But there's one thing that's constantly making me two things really that make me constantly second guess my first thoughts on Rosillian. One is your opinion of him. And two, if he needed us to trust him, or wanted us to trust him to reach his ends, you would think he wouldn't destroy my city and kill my former mentor. Unless, of course, he knew that those things had to happen. It's all very confusing. If I were trying to get someone to believe me and to come to my side, I certainly wouldn't act the way he did. But that only makes me, given his abilities and everything, believe him just a little bit. As for Rhea, based on what you saw, I just feel uneasy, I guess.
Well, that means a lot to me. I'll try. I can't promise that he's gonna take you with me.
That's all I ask. Guys, I'm gonna go kill Rosillian. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right. Are you ready to go?
Ready when you are. I said I'd have your back.
Yeah. I'll have yours. Okay. She'll cast sending.
Okay.
Not going to ask Babo?
No.
You want to come? Just kidding.
Hey. It's me. I really need to talk to you. I'm not in a safe place for you. Can you
5. There's 5.
take me and Lucy? No, I'm counting in my head. Take me and Lucy. That finger man.
Got one word
Bye.
left.
Bye.
A response comes quickly. It is good to hear from you, Alara. But now is not the time.
Motherfucker.
I will fetch you shortly.
That's ominous. Shoot. Well, that wasn't the reaction I was hoping for. No, I think he's busy. But he said that he was gonna fetch me shortly.
Yeah, I just hope I'm with you when it happens then.
Well, hopefully it doesn't happen at a super inconvenient time.
Foreshadowing.
I know.
Get the lantern first.
Yeah, I know. I don't like how close that is. He said shortly, and we're going after the lantern shortly. I don't like that.
Okay.
Well. Also, I
Following
have
your
enough.
lead on this, so
I tried. I mean, I'll wait till he's ready. If he's not ready, it wouldn't work anyways. He has to be willing to hear me. So, I also have another question for you. I know you said that I could borrow this bathrobe. I was wondering if I could actually keep it. Because I kind of really like it.
Of course. It's yours.
Thanks. It makes me feel kind of like, when I wear it, it makes me feel super fashionable and kind of like I'm home.
It'll be something to remember me by. When I surely do something stupid to get myself killed in all this.
No, you're not. I'm not going to let you die. It's okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, bye. Okay.
Bye.
I'm done.
Lucy, what would you like to do over the course of the 3 days?
He spends
Find
the 3
Alara.
days
Just
finding
kidding.
his dad and killing it. No. Oh, gosh. I guess Lucy will spend the 3 days mostly just trying to gauge where everyone's at, but the only thing in particular that's worth talking about that he's going to do is he wants to talk to Elle. So he will, in his time, try to sort of meditate like Pablo taught him and try to reach a connection with Elle, aka Masked Lucy.
Okay. As you sit in your room quietly, utilizing the meditation that Pavo taught you, you suddenly feel a presence enter your mind, foreign to your own. But no words are spoken.
But I can kind of feel him there, right?
Her.
Her. Oh. Okay. I don't know exactly what I want to say to you, but I get a strange feeling that you have insights that I don't. What happened to you? Should I get a response?
There is a long pause. However, you do receive a response. Like the rest of us, you will lose.
How can you be so certain?
Because it is destined.
I don't know if you've heard, but I'm the fate breaker, and he'll break the connection.
Okay.
I don't like her. Okay.
Eli, what would you be doing over the course of the 3 days?
Am I allowed to leave the ship?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would be snooping around, listening to some thieves' camp, seeing if I can find any information about Dalmar, number one. I'm going to spend some time meditating with the daggers, and then most importantly, pranks with the invisibility cloak.
Gotta get that.
From your investigations, actually roll me an investigation check.
Okay. That is going to be an 8.
An 8. You do spend some time going around, learning a little bit of the underbelly of Hansor. You come across the name of Dalmar a few times, but never the location. Make a stealth check for me.
Okay.
At advantage.
21. Oh. How fun. Ooh. 21.
21.
Mm-hmm.
You successfully tie the shoelaces of every member within the ship.
Except Ollie. I won't prank Ollie because he helped me get it.
Ollie doesn't wear
Everybody
shoelaces.
else?
It's okay.
There we go.
I don't wear shoes either.
Pull some chairs before
Me
people
neither.
sit down. All of that stuff. Super mature. You guys gave an invisibility cloak to a child.
And lastly, make an Arcana check for me.
16.
16. You focus intently on the daggers when you find time alone in your room. You begin to hear the whispers that Ollie spoke of. But for the most part, it's jumbled and hard to make out. Until the last day, when you finally make sense of the words that are being said over and over. The blade in the body, 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 the blade in the body.
Ooh. Oh. That was very uncomfortable.
Goosebumps.
I got chills.
No, I don't like that. Mm-mm.
And finally, you catch one more phrase that comes out of it. What is my name?
Thanks for the nightmares. God, this is so horrifying.
Trix, what are you doing over the 3 days?
What am I doing over the 3 days?
Collecting spoons, obviously.
Other than that, obviously.
One of us is
They could come in handy.
posting her bail.
Yeah.
So we have access to this library?
You do?
Can I look for... I don't know. Can I look for a Tome of Understanding?
A tome, like the magic item?
Yeah. I think it's worth a shot.
Roll an investigation check for me.
All right. $14.
14. While you don't find a tome, you do hear of a location that is said to hold the tome.
And that location is...
there is a small city on Qatar where an institution lies. Within it, one of the artifacts it holds is the Tome of Understanding. The name of the city is Trellis. Ollie, what would you like to do?
Okay, so leaving my room with the spade. Well, basically for each day, I figured 3 days should be enough time to maybe, with the resources of my father, augment 3 of the champion's weapons using my Heavensmith's abilities. If that's possible.
Whose would you like to augment?
I would like to augment Eli's daggers, Pavo's wings, and the spade.
Okay. Go ahead and give me 3 religion checks.
So the first one will be for the spade. That's 15. Oh, you heard that? So 15 for the spade. That was. Do I have do I have anything on me? Like nope.
Inspiration, no.
Okay, that was 8 for the daggers. Sorry, I had the daggers in mind when I rolled that. And then for the wings, that is 18.
18. You're able to augment one of the set of weapons. Pavos. Between now and next session, Pavo, decide what damage type, including elemental, that you'd like to augment your wings with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And since I only worked on one, I was hoping I might have found spare time to finish the repairs to Elara's dress.
You did try an attempt on all 3. You were
Okay.
only successful with 1.
Sorry, Laura.
Fine.
You'll never have that dress.
Sorry, Elara, I guess those plans are in tatters.
Pavo, what are you doing over the course of the 3 days?
So day 1, I'm going to make time for half the day for Ollie for our little session together for the wings. The second part would be to, I forget his name already, just pick his brain on the northern tribe that he said he'd read so much about, just to get some more information about the Arakaka tribe.
Oh, Papas.
Yeah, Papas. On day 2, with the new augmentation of the wings, I want to tap into my monastery tradition of doing a full 24-hour meditate. During that time, Pavo wants to focus on his previous life of being that champion before, so that maybe he can tap into some more knowledge of what it was like to be the champion before, so that way I can implement that into my daily life now and see if I can use that to connect fully with my wings. And then after that, on day 3, knowing that we have a huge task ahead of us, I will attempt to go back to the casino and see if I can get that date with Gigi.
Yeah!
Hey!
Give the people what they want.
Efficient.
Here we go.
Spending the half day with Ollie, he's successfully able to augment. Make a history check for me.
Ollie, come on, let's get to day 3. I'm just kidding.
History. All right. That'd be 13.
13. Reaching into your subconscious, deep in a trance-like meditation, you try and reach out to the previous version of yourself. And while you get glimpses of heroic battles, there's not much more that you collect.
Okay.
Lastly, make a performance check for me.
Performance.
Pavo.
I see something was redeemed. Can I use it?
Sadly, it was redeemed for
That's
me, my
inspiring
friends.
the universe.
But
Oh, it was you? Oh,
I
damn.
will, for this role, I will give you my inspiration.
All right, I'm gonna need it.
Oh, so
I get a neg 1 to it, so. All right. Well, that's 17, so 16.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
I know where to put it.
Oh, God.
Oh,
You did
you're banned.
not.
You're banned.
Grounded.
Yeah.
Going back to the brass flamingo, you come in contact with Countess Gigi. At first, she's a little put off based on your last demeanor.
Fair.
But you're honest, you're truthful, and you're open. She invites you to have dinner that night. You enjoy a beautiful plethora of food. And then the scene goes dark.
Ooh.
Needless to say, you wake up the next morning with a little bit of ruffled feathers.
Sweet.
Mhm.
It happens.
Bravo.
I was finally a man.
Oh, God.
No.
Sorry.
Ash, what would you like to do over the course of 3 days?
I would be stalking Lucy on the lookout for any of his sneeze and see what happens.
Let me roll 3 D100s. One sneeze a day. For all the unredeemed sneezes.
Make a perception check for me.
Oh, perception. Perception. That's a 26.
26.
Nope. Invisible.
Lucy, roll a D100 for me.
Okay. These two, right? Yeah. There's a 46.
46. That sounds new.
Come on, kittens.
Kittens.
Oh my god.
As you watch Lucy, you're surprised to see a number of what look like livestock beginning to follow him around everywhere. One catches your attention in particular. A small rodent. A squirrel.
No. It's so cute.
You begin to chase it around immensely,
No. No.
but the squirrel is just too quick and nimble.
Good.
Is there anything else you'd like to do over the course of your 3 days aside from chase a
Time
squirrel?
well spent.
Did Eli play any tricks on me during those 3 days?
I believe I
Absolutely.
did.
How many times? After the first time, I said ha ha ha. The second time, I say stop it or you pay for it.
I
3
would
times.
definitely. I would push it. Yeah.
Yeah. The third time, when I see him, I cast Dispel magic on his cloak.
Did you break it forever? I will kill you over this.
So mean.
He did. It's gone. It's just a cloak now.
Eli, roll a D100 for me.
I'm
Would you
gonna
just
kill
stop?
you over it.
I told you to stop.
I will kill you over this cloak.
Not even a character. She will kill you.
Where is?
Yeah, this isn't Eli talking anymore.
43.
43. Well, alas.
Oh!
You attempt to continue to use your cloak,
No.
but it seems that it holds no more magic within it.
Oh, we're fighting. We're fighting. You're a piece of shit. We're in a fist fight. At least we're in a fist fight. We're fighting, man.
I'm just going to give a gentle reminder that he has the Fate card with him right now, which puts him close to level 20. Are you sure
Yeah,
you
but-
want to fight him right now?
Fist fight, yeah. Fist fight him.
Okay.
He ruined my cloak. It's
Hold on.
Eli.
He has claws.
You're talking to Swiss Dave. Are you sure you want to attempt to fight him?
I feel like I have to stay in character. That's
No.
what Eli would do.
God.
This is
He
how
wouldn't
Eli
like
dies.
mortally wound him. He's gonna
Nah.
fight him.
I will.
Okay.
Like
I will-
pushing
I will-
and shoving, that kind of stuff. Like, what the fuck, dude? Fix it.
I would just run away from Eli, just laughing.
Ha ha ha! As he runs.
And for the next
Oh.
2 days, Eli chased Ash.
My god.
Jeez.
However,
Well, I hate you now.
Okay.
at the end of the 3 days, you were called once more to Lord Lucius's commander's meeting room. As you all sit around the table, he looks to all of you. I've attempted to collect all of the things that you required. There's not much in terms of knowledge when it comes to the temple's construction, albeit that it was created by an individual named Zender.
Xander?
Yes, Zender.
That name doesn't
heard
ring a
that?
bell to anyone, does it?
Yeah, have we heard that before?
It sounds
No.
familiar.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Well, my last name is Vander, so that might be why it
Maybe.
sounds familiar. But
Maybe, yeah.
As the legend tells, originally a fortune teller from Malshur gifted the gift of the mortal champion's weapons, the lantern. He stayed with the mortal champions for quite some time before mysteriously disappearing from the group. Not much was written in record other than him coming here and starting the Psionic Knights, or Knights of Sion, as you know them. Now, while we were unable to find these blueprints that you sought, we were able to collect these. As he says this, he motions with his hand for his minions to approach. Placing down on the table 7 potions of invisibility.
No cloak.
She's
I
drenching
will
her cloak
give
with this.
Ash the dirtiest look.
We've
Eli, I'm
also-
sorry. I'll give you all I have, and I will give her my gold pouch.
Oh man, my eye's so itchy.
Wait, are you casting Sending?
What?
Me? Oh, what?
Never mind.
What? Are you-
Because I
Oh.
flipped
Message
off
was
the camera twice now.
Oh.
Oh.
Do you know how long the potion's effects last?
Potion's effects will last for 20 minutes.
It's not a lot of time.
20 minutes. You don't have any invisibility cloaks?
Yes, we store
Damn it.
all types of legendary magical weapons and armor and items just
I
randomly.
don't know. You were all like, I'm the most powerful person here, and
All
I'll
right,
use
all
my
right,
political
everyone,
prowess.
Take it easy.
Okay.
We have
Thank
also
you.
arranged for your vessel to become invisible when need be.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Cloak would also be helpful. Too bad our plans were foiled.
Yeah, it sounds like
Fine.
invisibility is very important on this mission.
Yep.
Yeah.
Highly important. Very important.
Yes, you keep
Isn't that right, Ash?
you keep
You look
repeating that over and over
upset.
again. I've just given you invisibility potions. I thought that was I'm
Yeah.
missing something here.
I think we all are.
Well, we had the cloak and he destroyed the cloak. That's what
You
I'm
destroyed the
implying.
cloak?
You were
Yes.
warned, Eli.
He
I told you to stop.
give me a fucking break, man. We needed that cloak. You foiled
Did you
all of
tie
our
his
plans.
shoelaces together like mine?
Yes.
I assume you did to Lucy at some point.
Yes. Over pranks, he destroyed the invisibility cloak, which we needed on this mission.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look, nothing can be done about it now.
You're on your own,
Bet.
Ash.
How much
We're
are you worth
professionals.
dead, Ash?
Sorry?
Are you worth about 10,000 gold dead?
I
'Cause
don't
I
think
could
so.
probably find a new one for that much.
I don't think so. Sorry.
So you
No.
were saying about unity.
Yes.
Look.
Well,
We,
petty squabbles aside, I've supplied you, I believe, with everything that you've asked for.
Thank you.
I did attempt to sway the knights in order to grant you access. Unfortunately, that didn't go as planned.
Oh.
However, I believe the second option of a covert mission is doable with these things.
that's the
Are
path
they-
we'll have to go down.
Are they tipped off now?
I was going to say, doesn't that kind of alert them that somebody may be coming?
No. I am very good
I'm sure
at
he
what
was.
I do.
Yeah, I'm sure he was
Okay.
quite cunning in his dialogue. I think time is of the essence here. If everyone is ready,
No time like the present.
and with that, Mr. Presage, wish us luck.
Father.
May Gibble watch over all of you.
If you'll show us to our ship,
Of course. He leads you down to the ships. To the one in particular. He looks to you, Lucy. The command word is vanish. He looks to Ollie. Be careful down there. Especially when you're invisible. It's very easy to trip.
Mhm.
Okay.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay.
Thank you, Father. I'll be careful.
He embraces you one last time before each of you board the vessel. He stands back and watches as the vessel begins to rise into the air once more, over top of the railing of the large airship, and making its way down to the bay below. And that, my friends, is going to be a story for another evening.
No.
So, we've got a giveaway to do. So we will do one last little bit. We will buy people a little bit of time. If you have not already entered, go ahead and hit the command ! Dice to be entered to win some of those fabulous, fantastic sketch dice. And they are really cool. I got to play with them a little bit. They were super awesome and amazing. What's really interesting about them is that they actually use like alcohol ink paints for it. So it just has this beautiful coverage that doesn't create any kind of like tactile sensation behind them. Really, really cool, really awesome. I would highly recommend them. Hold on, do I have them here? I do have them here. I'll show you what I did. This might be very difficult to see on camera. But I started to make swirly-durly things. Oh, of course. Hold on.
Look at that
wait.
palm.
One.
Whoa.
Yeah, we can't see, but chat
They
can
can
see.
see.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I got this. I just gotta twist this. Ooh. See, you just kind of, I just made it gold and swirly, but they're usually white. So the gold color is absolutely amazing on it. It's very vibrant, cool colors in all of it. Yeah, it's just something that I was playing with. So, hey, if you like dice, then, enter into the things. And focused again. Look at that. I'm almost becoming professional at this. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and stop the Who's a Mawazzer things. We'll go ahead and close entries one last time. And if I could get a drum roll, please. Wait, why isn't it letting me? Hold on.
Every time.
Yeah.
There's always a
No,
delay, and they're just like drumming
Always
away.
the longest
letting me-
drum roll
Hold on,
ever.
it's not letting me do the things.
This is why I don't do the drum roll.
Yeah.
Taking
All
forever. My arms
Thinking
hurt.
ahead.
All right. Let's do it.
While Dave's figuring that out, make sure you check out Mithril Armory on their website. And if you like anything there, because they have cool mugs and they have cool other dice, and they also sell the sketch dice and t-shirts. It's awesome. If you find anything you like, use the code CAREFUL at checkout for 10% off. Yay, because who doesn't like a discount?
And they make great gifts.
Okay, I'm ready.
Go work on
Drum
that.
roll,
They do.
please. And the winner
Again?
of
Okay.
tonight's sketch
one more time here.
dice is none other than Ricky Bobby Paints. Congratulations, Ricky Bobby
Woo!
Paints. You are the
Woo!
winner for tonight's
Paints.
thingamabobber.
Ricky Bobby.
If you are still here, fantastic. We will go ahead and get a hold of you. Do the things.
Ricky
What?
Bobby Paints coming to our Discord. Get a hold of me.
Or do
Discord.
that. Or do that.
And
Find
also,
me.
when you're done painting them, put it in our Discord.
Yes.
Like, that's for anyone who ends up
Yeah.
getting a sketch dice or buying them or doing you want to
Yeah.
see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So congratulations to Ricky Bobby Paints. Well done, my friend. And that's, I think, all we have for the evening, unless there's anything else.
Also, Ricky Bobby Paints, I'm Raina in Discord. So you know who to look for. Come in our Discord. I'll find you.
But with that said, we're going to do a little bit of raiding for the evening, as we usually do. We're going to go check out our friends over at... who do we want to raid for the evening? Guys, talk to the people for a second so I can find the things.
Okay.
Hi, people.
Hi, chat.
What's up?
Hello.
Doing okay? Did you drink enough water today?
What?
Hi,
It's
McBluff.
important.
Oh no, sprint by. Good night. Take care. Hello.
Did you feed your cat? Do you have a cat?
Jesus, what is happening right now?
What is
I leave you
going
guys
on?
for like
Talk
5
to
minutes
him.
and it just goes crazy. We're going to go raid our friends over at Dark Tales, a wonderful group of D&D peeps as well. Hashtag CC Love Raids, because we don't do any of the hate around here. We only do the love raids. So I'll go ahead and hit the button. We're going to start the raid over there. As always, thank you so much for joining us for the evening. We'll be back tomorrow night for a little bit of our art stream. It's going to be a super fantastic, awesome time with the lovely Raina and Bobby doing their things as usual. And yeah, that's all I got. So until the very next time I see you, adventurers, I beg of you all one word of caution. Whether attempting to negotiate with a powerful individual, or trying to screw with your friends and have one of your most expensive magic items disappear.
Wow.
Be careful out there.
Can't even.
You can trip. Guys, we'll see y'all in the next one. Take care.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
So long.